Hey guys, in this video, we're going to teach you guys how to become an independent developer that makes passive and active income with the skills that you guys already know. And what's really cool about this is that you can start at any level. It doesn't matter if you just started learning how to code or you are a mid or senior level developer. All right, guys. By the way, my name is Joe Santos, aka Coding Phase. If you guys don't know, you guys should definitely check out my YouTube channel. It's called Coding Phase. I also have a side channel where we create trendy videos for developers called Billy Ray. So definitely go check that out, guys. Now, this career path of becoming an independent developer might not be for everybody. So I want to point out who is this for and who is this not for. So I'm going to start with who is this for. So let's say, for example, you live in a country where you might not have all of the opportunities that you might see here in the United States, right? You might say, damn, man, how can I get $100,000 job, but companies here are only paying like $35,000 or $40,000, right? You might want to go in and say, hey, how can I make some extra income to get to that $100,000 mark independently on my own, or even more than that, right? Now, again, this is also for the guys that want to reach a point where they might feel like, hey, I'm financially free from having to go into work for somebody else, and maybe I could work on the projects that I might be interested, right? So this is for those guys, especially for guys who want to be like digital nomads and be able to work from anywhere. Okay, who is this not for? This is pretty much not for the guys who enjoy going to a 9-to-5 job, right? And enjoy having that free time of, hey, when I come home, I get to relax, I get to play my little PlayStation 5, you know, watch some TV, just chill, right? Maybe on the weekends I don't have to work, etc., right? So this might not be for you, because this career path just takes a lot of time, and you just have to do the biggest investment, which is really your time. Okay, that's just really what it comes down to. And because nothing here that I'm going to mention comes in like in 1 month. There's no instant results. Everything that you do, you're gonna have to put in time. It could take 6 months, it could take a year, it could take 2 years, it could take even 3 years to really get to a real stable income. Now, of course, if you don't start, then you will never know how long it will take you. Okay, so I do want to point that out, because I know some people always get scared and they're like, man, do I have to do this for like 6 months, or do I have to work on these things for a certain amount of time? And what if I'm not getting results right now? You know what I'm saying? So people always worry about that. And it's like, bro, listen, you could have results in 6 months, you have results in a month. Okay, but at the end of the day, you will never know if you never start. Okay, that's just how it is. All right, so guys, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna show you guys about 5 different categories that pretty much go into all of the different ways that you can make income. So I'm gonna show you guys right now what are the categories. For example, we have niche sites, selling code as a product, games, applications, and also tools, selling your experience. All right, now in each category, I'm gonna go in and show you guys examples of how people are actually doing this. And then at the end of all of the categories, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some resources so you could go in and join certain communities or certain environments that's going to help you succeed on your journey. All right, so hopefully you guys stick around, man. Trust me, you're going to learn a lot. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So the first category that I have here for you guys is niche sites. Now, let me show you guys some examples of niche websites. So let's go into the first one that I have here. Is made by Flavio. His website is flaviocopes.com. Some of you guys have seen it. If you guys Google almost any type of topic on Google, like let's say React tutorial or Svelte tutorial or Vue.js tutorial, a lot of the times you're gonna see his blogs showing up on the search result, and it's actually pretty simple website. Like As you can see, there's no crazy animations. There's nothing crazy. It's just a blog that talks about a specific topic, okay, which is programming. Of course, you guys have heard of Scotch.io. This is also a niche website. They have a whole bunch of small tutorials and small online courses that you can go to. That's also a niche website. Then from there, you have things like CSS generators. I'm pretty sure you guys have searched this online, and you can see this website, webcode.tools/CSS generator. Right here, this is just a website that shows you guys a whole bunch of different things that you can use. And one thing that you're noticing, there's ads here, there's ads here. This is how they make their money, right? At the same time, you have also two small niche websites or microservices like NCOV2019.live, which was created by this young kid. I believe it's Avi Schiffman, right? Shout out to Avi, right? Follow him on Twitter. He's one of the biggest influencers in the world right now, basically, after he created this application. But it's a simple application. Like, this isn't nothing crazy. It's just having the idea, going out of your way, and actually getting it done. And one thing that you can see if you follow him is that he didn't even know that much JavaScript. He didn't even know that much of web development when he just built this. Now, I believe some people wanted to buy it for him for like $7-8 million, this website. But even at that, like, there's so many different ways that he can make income. Now, let's go into how can you make money with niche websites. Very simple. You have affiliate marketing, which is when you share a product. For example, you create a website about tablets, and then from there you link into Amazon. So when people read your reviews on that tablet, from there, you link them to Amazon and you get paid. I believe it's like 3%, 4% of whatever tablet it is. So for example, if it's $1,000, you're talking about that's $30 in your pocket automatically. You get what I'm saying? So it's actually not that bad. Then from there, you have also two other programs or services like ConvertKit, ClickFunnels, hosting services. You get what I'm saying? GoDaddy. Like, there's a million different places where you could do affiliate marketing to. Pretty much just promoting things that people were going to sign up to anyways, and you're going to make some income from that. Okay. At the same time, you have advertisement, you have ways to sell your own products. And this is something that I want to get into too. Shout out to Chris Sean. He has a website, which is technically a niche website, which is geared towards developers, developer branded. Now, this is great examples of how you can niche down to a specific audience, and then from there, you can make some income from it by actually selling products, which is what we have right here on our monetizations. Okay. And then of course, the subscriptions, you could even do subscription boxes that people get. Like, there's a million ways of making money with niche websites. Okay. The most profitable ones though is always going to be affiliate marketing and advertisement. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's go to the next one. Now, the next one that we have right here, guys, is selling code as a product. This one right here is great for those of you guys that love to do open source but would like to get some extra income. Now, instead of doing it for open source, now you're going to go and sell it or license your code to companies to be able to use them. All right. So let's say, for example, you want to create a forum, or you want to create a blog, or you want to create some type of application that deals with data science. If you want to use some type of dashboard, or you want to create something like a theme or a template, right? Or an image gallery. Like, there's a million things that you guys can create, and you can say, you know what? I got a good product here. Maybe somebody else could use it. And instead of me just putting it out to the world for free, let me actually try to get paid for it, right? Sometimes I've seen this done where people go in and create an open source project, right? Initially, and then from there, they come in and later on add extra features on top of it and maybe some support, and they'll start selling it in this type of platforms. So let's actually look into the platforms that we have here. So we have Envatos Market, Theme Forest, and here you could have everything from WordPress themes to pretty much template kits, hosting, HTML, right? So for those of you guys that think like you need to know the back end, or you need to be really good with JavaScript, like you could just create a HTML, CSS template, even just an email template template and you could go and sell it through here. Marketing, again, email template, landing pages, right? CMSs, you got Drupal, Joomla, Webflow, Weebly, right? You have so many different ones. E-commerce, you have Shopify, BigCommerce, 3D Cart, Magento, OpenCart, WooCommerce, WP e-commerce, which is like WooCommerce, and Cart, right? Like there's so many different ones. UI templates like Figma, Adobe, Photoshop, Sketch. If you created a plugin, you could also sell it in here. Like, sky's the limit what you can sell in this type of market, especially in Envato. But of course, then you have other ones. You have alternative like Code Canyon, where you're actually just selling the scripts themselves, right? This one right here is just for themes, which is Theme Forest, and this one is for code itself. So you got PHP scripts, WordPress scripts, e-commerce, JavaScript scripts, things like forms, images, loaders, media, navigation. Like, you could go in here and see like all of the different things that people have that they are selling. And as you can see, it's 136 sales at $6, 135 sales at $14, right? Now, again, going back to themes, there's guys that come in here, like let's say for Shopify, e-commerce, you can see that some of these guys, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? They come in, they create a theme, pretty big, right? Like this one, look at this one, Ella, 18,000 sales. Calculate that, right? When you come in and pull that in, say 18,000, right? And say times 79, right? You're talking about what? $1.4 million on just one theme. Now, of course, you know, this is like the top selling, right? But even at that, look at this one, 625 sales with $48. Like, that's not bad, right? You come in, you calculate that, and you can say, shit, I don't even know how much is that, but you could calculate it. You could come in and say, bring out the calculator, kids. Bring out the calculator, right? 625, right? Times 48. How much is that? You know, that's like 30,000, right? Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you guys can make money. Okay, of course, you got WordPress.org/themes. That's where you could sell your WordPress themes. You got Shopify themes that you could go in and try to submit it for them. Currently, right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're not taking new themes, but you could always go and reach out to the community, right? And I've seen people that have gotten their themes in there and they've made exceptions. Okay, at the same time, you got websites like Mojo Marketplace, where you could say themes, right? You got services, site analytics, like there's so much things like WordPress plugins, Magento plugins, right? JavaScript code. There's a lot of things that you can sell in here. Same thing as Creative Market. You can also sell things in here. Okay. There's also Coaster, which is another website where you could sell things in here, like templates and just code and, you know, maybe custom e-commerce stores, etc. Right? Whatever it is that you might want to get into. And then you also have website like this one, HTML5, which is completely free. Now, me personally, if I was to create a website like this, I will make it free, but then at the same time, I will also have ads on this website. Okay. So there's a million ways to make money out here, guys. Just gotta know how to get started and what are the resources. And that's what I'm trying to provide for you guys here. Okay. Again, what are the ways to make money with this? Selling code as a product. Well, very simple. Sell your own products. That's why you have all of these websites and all of these different marketplaces. And then from there, you have things like ads and affiliate marketing. So when you create something that's free, you can also have ads on the side, or maybe you might have sponsorship from LG, or maybe you might have a sponsorship from Logitech, or maybe you might get a sponsorship from some type of brand out there that might want to go in and promote their product on your page, because this is technically sort of a niche website too. The only difference is that this individual is creating code, right? Or creating websites and templates and putting it on this website for people to download it for free. Definitely shout out to him. Go give him some love. AJL Kane. All right. So definitely shout out to him. All right. So this was another category, guys. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. All right, guys. So the next category is games. Now, some of you guys love creating JavaScript games or playing around with Godot 3, right? So if you're one of those type of individuals and you want to make some extra income and you want to take this a little bit more serious now, you might want to check out this other websites like itch.io, facebook.com, and gamemonetize.com. So let's actually get into it. All right. So first of all, we have right here itch.io. This is a website where a lot of independent developers come in and you can actually sell your games from $5 and up, right? Or even less than that. Is up to you for how much you want to sell it. This is just independent developers. At the same time, you have more mainstream platforms that you can go for, but I'm showing you guys like the places where it's going to be easier for you to actually just get started and start building a base. Okay. So you got itch.io, which is a great place. They have a lot of different games in here and you can use any type of game engine. Okay. And if you're a JavaScript developer, you could submit your JavaScript games. If you are a Python developer and you want to mess around with Godot, you could jump into that. If you like to use Unity, you could go in and use that and you can make some income from that. Okay. Now, of course, if you guys haven't checked this out, Facebook actually has a game marketplace and all of these games are made with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? This is all HTML5 games that you guys can go in and play. And at the same time, this is one of those marketplaces where it's not super big here in the US, but globally is big. Okay. I know a lot of people in Dominican Republic who plays games on their phone through the marketplace on Facebook. Now, again, what do you need for this? Just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I will definitely recommend for you guys to check out Phaser 3. It's a great game engine and you could really get started right away with this. Now, some people might say, well, I want to become a mainstream developer and work for EA and this and that. Like, yeah, you could do that, but we're talking about becoming an indie developer, right? And you can do this with the skills that you guys already have. All right. So at the same time, you have this website called gamemonetize.com. This is basically a distributor. They'll go in, take your game. If they say, hey, this game has potential, they'll promote it and basically submit it to all of these different websites. All of this right here that you see right here is websites that pretty much has a whole bunch of games that people can play and you can make money from the advertisement that shows up on your games. So it's actually pretty damn cool, right? Imagine this. Who would have thought that you could just create some games with some JavaScript? I mean, you know, this is where we at now. It feels like we're in the future. Okay. Now, how do you make money with this? Advertisement, of course, right? This is how you're going to make most of your money. And then you could also sell your own games on different marketplaces like itch.io. Of course, there's probably more out there, different marketplaces, but this is the ones that I know for sure that has worked for people that I know in the game industry. So definitely go check it out, guys. So hopefully you like this category. All right, guys. So the next category we have here is applications. So you can create your own application with the skills that you already know, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some type of backend language. It could be PHP. You could use Node.js. You could use C#, .NET. You could use anything that you want to use, Python, whatever it is. You think of an idea, you create it, and then from there you release it to the world. Of course, when you want to create an application and you want it to be successful, it must be solving a problem. That's how you get paid. Okay. Sometimes people think of ideas of like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we created, this, and that, right? But do people need it? Are people going to use it? Will people pay for it? That's things that you got to always keep in mind. All right. When you want to create your applications and you want them to become successful. Now, I'm going to have some examples in here of software as a service. We also have some third-party apps that are within the platforms of Shopify, Wix, WordPress, App Exchange, which is part of Salesforce. For those of you guys that always think like, oh my God, Wix is going to take over, or we're going to be able to lose our jobs, or this and that. The independent developer doesn't care what platform it is, right? We're always going to be able to go in there and go into this marketplace and create applications within there. So stop worrying about if Wix is going to take over or Shopify is going to take over or whatever WordPress is going to take over. Guys, there's always going to be a job for you no matter where you go. Okay. At the same time, we're also talking about startups, right? So we're going to go in and I'm going to show you guys this website. It's called producthunt.com. If you guys have never heard of it, definitely go check it out. Every single day, new independent developers, indie hackers go in, create applications, and they release it in here. Every single one of you guys that is a developer should know about Product Hunt, and you should be visiting this website every single day to see what's going on in the industry and what other independent developers are creating. Now, I have a good example here of an application that was released just a few days ago, right? It's called Linear Release. This is an application that basically is trying to compete with Jira. Again, it's a productivity app. I know you guys have seen a lot of these, but what's cool about this is that this application is so fluid, man. Like, this is so nice. It's so smooth. I'm not sponsored. I just saw it on Product Hunt and I tried it out and I was like, man, this is cool. And the way how it feels is a front end application that just feels native. So, you know, I tip my hat to those guys, right? Shout out to them, man. But again, you know, as you can see, they're charging for this. They give you free access to a free account, but then from there, you're paying $8 a month, $12 a month, etc., right? 20% off, right? So this is a great way how people get into the game, you know, by creating applications, right? Maybe it could be a one-man team. Maybe it could be you and a couple of friends create this big application, but sometimes you don't even need a team. Sometimes you could create a simple idea, right? And then from there, it becomes something big. Shout out to my boy, Peter Levels. If you guys don't follow him, definitely go follow him, levels.io, right? If you guys want to check out his blog and also check out his Twitter, it's levels.io. Okay. This guy is legit, man. This is the guy that motivated me. I'm here because of him, which basically started as a very simple idea of creating a website where people can go in and see what are the internet speeds for different cities, how safe are they, you know, how much does it cost to live there. This is great for those guys that are, you know, digital nomads and are traveling throughout the world and want to know, hey, I want to spend 3 months here. I want to go to Thailand for 2 months. I want to go to the Philippines for 6 months. Hey, I want to go spend some time in San Francisco. Do I want to go to New York, or I want to go to Florida, or whatever it might be, right? Like, it has all of those different cities and states in here, and it gives you the information, right? Overall score, the cost, the internet, the fun, the safety. But this application became something bigger because now not only are people able to get this information, but then it also grew into its own social network. Technically, right? You can actually go in, get information about it. People leave reviews, leave informations like pros and cons, cost of living. Again, how's the weather? What's the different trends of that city? How many people are actually searching for that city? Are people going there? Information about the co-working space of that area. Okay. There's a lot of things that is in here, man. It's just crazy the amount of things that, Peter Levels has added to this. And again, this is a great example of what happens when you have determination and you know exactly what you want to do. This guy doesn't have the latest frameworks. He don't have no React, no Vue, no Angular. Everything that he did here is just basically vanilla JavaScript and jQuery. Okay. At the same time, he don't even have a backend framework. All of this he built it himself. It's just pure PHP, and he's making over $50,000 with this application. Okay. This is just something that's mind blowing because it shows you that for those of you guys that be like, man, I need to get this and that, or I need to learn all of these skills to be able to be an independent developer or to be able to create something meaningful that's going to make you some income. This guy proved it that, hey, you don't need any of that. You just need an idea and then just freaking execute it. That's it. That's all you really need. All right. Now, again, we have other different applications in here like Yoast SEO. If you guys are, guys that use WordPress or have ever used WordPress before, you have heard of Yoast SEO. Okay. This is a plugin that was created. This is technically an application that is being served within the application of WordPress. Okay. WordPress itself has its own marketplace in plugins section where you could go in and find a whole bunch of different plugins. Doesn't matter what it is. And people make money by providing free content or free value. And then from there, giving them a premium. We also have Wix has its own marketplace where you guys can go and create your own applications and put them within here. Okay. This is something that's new and it's actually pretty nice. There's not that much competition in here. From there, you have another one, which is pretty big. Salesforce Apps Exchange. This is another one that's pretty big. Okay. You guys can definitely go check it out for sure. The next one we have here is one that I'm focusing a lot for my agency and for my development team. We focus on creating Shopify applications, okay, and Shopify themes. So this is something that I'm very comfortable with this ecosystem. It's super cool how a company like this of 2 developers in India, Super Lemon, they created this application, which is a WhatsApp chat and abandoned cart application. And basically they're making, with just $10 a month from each user and each person that signs up, they're making over $30,000 right now. I actually released a video on my Coding Phase channel. I'm going to plug it in the description too, so you guys could go check it out, how we talk about how they were able to grow their business and basically get their applications to really blow up in a matter of a year and a half. So shout out to them, man. They definitely deserve it, man. When you put in that work, you get that bag. Okay. What is the bag? The money bag. It's up to you if you want it or you want to be looking at guys that is actually doing it. All right, guys. So the next one that we have here is selling your experience. And we have a couple of different examples. We have creating a YouTube channel, consulting, coaching, tutoring, creating courses, right? And personally, to me, I think this is the hardest one because a lot of time, people think that this is easy just to sell your experience, but you have to always remember it's like they're looking for experience. It's hard for a beginner to actually make this happen because you might not have experience, and that's what people are paying for. So for example, you can have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna plug my own channel, Coding Phase, right? As you guys can see, there's a whole bunch of channels out here. You have Traversing Media, Dev Ed, Chris Sean, Cole Stacker, you have Danny Thompson, you got Florin, you have a million guys that have a YouTube channel, and you can see that pretty much we're all doing the same thing in a similar way, right? We create content that brings value to people, right? And then from there, we get paid from the advertisement. Then we also might get paid from having a sponsorship within the video, or we might get paid because we have affiliate links to other people's courses or other people's services or products. Okay, so this is the way how we actually get paid as YouTube content creators. Right now, again, you can also have the next thing, which is creating courses, right? As you guys know, your boy Traversing Media has some courses. Shout out to him. He just dropped the 50 projects in 50 days, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Go check that out if you want. Okay, but as you can see, you could go and create courses and put it in a marketplace like udemy.com, and there's other marketplaces out there that you guys can create a course. Even if you're not a very well-known instructor, you can make a decent amount of money initially if you go in and be the first one to create a course for it. Okay, or sometimes you want to go in and create a course that not everybody's talking about, but it's needed within the industry. For example, I talk about Shopify, and Shopify is not something that's super popular, but is needed within the industry. Okay. Again, then you have other websites where you can say, hey, I could have my own website, like I have codingphase.com, where I basically host all of my courses in there, and I pretty much provide a service of having all of these courses for like a monthly subscription, right? So pretty much everything that you need to become a front-end developer, you get all of that within Coding Phase. Now again, there's pros and cons. Okay, cons by having your own platform is that nobody knows you, right? So it's gonna take time for you to get to a point where you can say, hey, I'm gonna sell some courses, but if nobody knows you, it's difficult to bring that traffic, right? Now you can go to a place like Udemy and basically go in there, and people are gonna find your courses regardless, because when they come in here and they search for a specific thing like React or JavaScript or I don't know, Django or Ruby on Rails, whatever it might be, your course is going to show up. So going to a marketplace makes it easier for instructors, but creating your own platform, it could be a little bit more beneficial in its own way, because you have more control of your courses. Okay, now the next thing that I said was, you know, tutoring. This is something that every single one of you guys can do, as far as, you know, helping other people. If you're that guy that's really comfortable with React, if you're really comfortable with Python, you could go to places like this. This is different marketplaces like varsitytutors.com, where you could go in and sign up. You look at the bottom and it tells you automatically, hey man, tutoring jobs, how to become a tutor. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that you guys can do, right? If you're comfortable with a certain skill, you can help others and sell your time. It could be $40 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, depending on the topic. Of course, this companies will also get their cut, just like every other marketplace. All right, then of course you have coaching. Now coaching is something that you can do when you have a lot of experience. I will say is a little bit different than tutoring. So tutoring, you could be a guy that's really comfortable with React, right? And you could help somebody who's a beginner to understand the beginning process of something like React, right? But when you want to do coaching is more for the guys that have been, you know, in big companies or have a lot of years of experience, where, you know, people are going to pay you top dollar for your, you know, your services. This is not going to be like, hey, we're paying $40 an hour. It's more like, hey, how can we pay you $500 an hour? How can we pay you $1,000 an hour, right? Or sometimes you might come in and say, hey, you know what, can you do a presentation for a conference or something like that, right? And you could get paid, you know, $2,000-$3,000 every gig, right? And then, you know, pay hotels, etc., right? So it all depends on which way you rather go. All right, so again, how do you monetize these things, right? You have affiliate marketing, advertisement, right? This is perfect for the YouTubers, right? Sell your own products. You can go ahead and create your own courses, create, you know, your own guideline, your own curriculum on how to get to the point where you're at, because technically you're selling your experience, right? So every single one of you guys, if you have achieved a certain level as a developer, right? It could be, hey, I just got into Google. How do you do it, right? People want to know. People want to get into Google, so you could teach them that, right? Somebody might come to me and say, Joe, how can I make money online as a developer? I only know this certain skills. I come in and I help them out and tell them, hey, this is the things that you can do right now. This is the things that you can do in the next 6 months, etc., right? So again, you have that. Then you have sponsorships. This is also true for YouTube. Sometimes you might get sponsorships for situations where you're going to like a meetup, or you're doing something like a conference, and some company is actually sponsoring your whole trip and sponsoring your payment. So that also goes in there. Same thing with like social media, Instagram, Twitter, you know, Pinterest, etc. If you have a following, people will go in and pay for the eyes that are on you, right? The people that want to know about you and your services or whatever whatever is bringing attention to you. Some people might say, you know what, you have the same audience as the people that we want to reach. So definitely they will go in and reach out and try to sponsor you with that. Okay. And then again, self-service by the hour, where you have things like tutoring, where you could just go in, you say, you know what, on Saturdays, I don't got nothing to do. Why not earn an extra $200 on this Saturday? Go in and do, 4 hours of tutoring some young college student, etc. Right? So there's a lot of possibilities, guys, where you can make money by selling your experience. All right. So I hope you guys really enjoy this content. Let me know on the comment section you found this useful. I want to say again, thank you to Brad and Traversing Media, the whole channel, the whole community. Guys, if you guys have never seen me here, this is what I do on YouTube. I teach people how to code, and at the same time, I try to help people understand the value that they have as developers, right? We're like pretty much like construction workers when you really think about it. Once you have that skill, you could work for a company, or you could build your own company, or you could do your own little freelance gigs and things like that on the weekends, right? So this is how I think, this is how I do my things on YouTube. So definitely, if you are interested in that, go check out my YouTube channel. This is what we focus on. We focus on how can we make more money as developers independently, right? Because you could go and work for Google and get $400,000 or $500,000 or whatever they're offering now, right? But how can you keep your freedom and continue to make the things that you love and you have fun with? Okay, so that's what we focus on, Coding Phase. So definitely go leave a comment, show some love, and yeah, man, check out the description. I'm putting a whole list of resources in there. It's gonna be super jam-packed, guys. So definitely check out the description. Okay, I'll see you guys later. All right, thank you again, Brad. You already know it's your boy Joe, back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back, and I done did it again. Damn, you get it.